everything's alright. Just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment.
I'm right here so patient, sitting like I'm ancient. Message to y'all rappers, some of y'all gon' be a patient. Never dream my dreams, only seen it through a vision. I told y'all to quit sleeping, but none of y'all didn't listen. Now it's time to cast out, and I ain't talking about fishing. Money green in the hood like a San Andreas mission. Laid back in science class, staring at the spinning globe. Get ready for the ride, cause one day I'ma hold this world in my hands, standing in my 3-point stance. Life's a lady and she's real fine. Kill the beat every time, that's real crime. Y'all rappers can borrow the game, but it's still mine. It's a stick up, I'm here to pick up.
Try to live in day to day like everything's alright. Every night just one thing on my mind. I'm just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment. You say, oh, you got that, oh shit, hell no, next time that's mine. As long as I stay hustling, I'm gon' shine. I'm just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment.
No matter what, I'ma shine, so you can't cover me up. Haters make me better, and they also make me tough. Should I cuff her or cuff the bottom of my truth? And if I never give up, then I would never lose. Gotta keep on rolling. Keep rolling like a guard, like a car. Just pray for me, I'll make it far. At the top of the food chain, it's your chain versus my chain. Bite my style, I know you like the flavor. Trunk shaking like it got the taser. Smooth flow like I touched the razor. Grind real hard, cause my name on the surface. Chasing down my dream, I should shoot him in the leg. Grind in the middle of the night, cause I like to stay ahead. Get bread.
Living day to day like everything's alright. Every night just one thing on my mind. I'm just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment. You say, oh, you got that, oh shit, hell no, next time that's mine. As long as I stay hustling, I'm gon' shine. I'm just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment.
I got my bags packed, I'm just waiting on Treyco. Just looking out the window, I'm waiting on Treyco. Just sitting outside, I'm just waiting on it. And I don't understand why they hating on it.
Living day to day like everything's alright. Every night just one thing on my mind. I'm just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment. You say, oh, you got that, oh shit, hell no, next time that's mine. As long as I stay hustling, I'm gon' shine. I'm just waiting on that moment.